Right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining it today. We are going to be reviewing the Fitness Shop Edge protection plans through Guardsman. And I know we have a couple more people that will be joining, but I think we can go ahead and start as we are going to be recording this and we'll share the recording after. I'm going to hand it off right away to Caleb, who works for Guardsman. And Caleb, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. I'm Caleb Jensen. I'm an account manager over here at Guardsman. I deal with a lot of the new accounts and any new things that we're working on here, and I'm here to answer any questions or help out with any concerns you might have. I've a little background about myself. So I've been in the protection plan and fitness industry for 5 years now. So I spent 3 or 4 years on the phones on the front lines taking service calls and selling warranties for iFit products. And then I spent about a year as a service manager over about 180 technicians of the iFit service network. And I'm looking forward to doing business with each of you guys.
Perfect. Thanks, Caleb. Hey, I'm Dan Cleary. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for our consumer side of the business here at Guardsman. I'm thankful for everyone attending. We'll spend the next 25 minutes reviewing some the high points of the deck, give you a nice review of what we can offer to the Fitness Shop Edge. Again, very excited about it. I've got roughly 10, 12 years in the warranty space. Again, just really looking forward to sharing what we can do for you. Really the goal is to provide your customers with a benefit of an additional benefit of what they're purchasing in your stores. And it's that whole life cycle of a customer, right? It's hard to get someone in there and to purchase. And then if something goes wrong, we want to make sure we're there to help them so that they're giving positive reviews. And more importantly, if they need more fitness equipment, whatever that means, then they're going to come back and keep shopping. It's just the whole life cycle of having a wonderful experience at your store. So with that, let's get started, Caleb.
Yeah.
We'll turn the page here and we'll talk about a little bit about who we are and why you would you want to do business with us, right? So we are Guardsman, as Lacey alluded to. We're part of the Amenta Group, which is a very large company that provides warranty solutions to all of our partners, whether that be retailers such as yourself. We also do work with manufacturers, OEMs. We work with those directly as well. And then obviously we do some direct-to-consumer programs as well. But really, for the last 50 years, we've been offering protection plans in many different verticals, right? So you may have heard of Guardsman in the furniture space, right? Where we provide protection plans. If you go buy a sofa and you put a warranty, you put an extended warranty or a protection plan on a sofa, something goes bad with it or a piece of furniture, right? We got to go in and take care of it, fix it or replace it. So we do the same thing on the consumer side, right? So, and when I mention consumer side, right, it could be any vertical, could be fitness, could be grills, electronics, appliances. I think you guys understand. That's what we do. That's all we do is provide those type of offerings to our retailers. So again, we have a lot of experience, a very dedicated team to helping you and helping programs succeed. I think the biggest difference between Guardsman / Amenta Group, who is our parent company, is that we don't believe in programs where we just hand something off and say good luck, right? So especially if you've never sold plans before, it's important that you have a company behind you that's going to help you every step of the way, whether that be on the onboarding process, whether that be training on how to sell, whether that be claims assistance, right? So I just want to give you that reassurance that we're going to be there for you. I think that's part of the world-class experience that we offer. We have an easy claim process. We have call centers in the U.S., right? So I think that's important. We actually have three. We have one in Michigan. We have one in Dallas, where I'm located. And then we have one in Utah, where Caleb is located. So I wanted to share a little overview of who we are, and I'm gonna let Caleb talk just a bit to some of the partners he works with, and especially in the fitness space.
Yeah. So kind of like Dan alluded to, we're in a lot of different verticals, and we really do take a lot of pride in being fitness experts. I mean, you take our partnership with iFit. That relationship's been ongoing. I mean, it's been going on for 30 plus years. I mean, we're talking before I was born. This protection plan relationship has been around for that long. And I think, and Dan covered it well, but we really do have these close partnerships. Like with iFit, we're always over at their headquarters doing trainings, and we're learning more about Nordic Track, Proform, free motion products, exactly how to sell warranties. We're keeping track of the attachment rates that they're having on those warranties and how they can better sell them. And so it's just this close-knit relationship that we really do enjoy, being close to these brands and really discovering the type of model that's going to work for their business. Even Walking Pad as well. That's one of our newer brands that I'm sure you guys are familiar with. They're the in-home. It's basically just a walking deck and walking belt. You can walk on the treadmill where you're working at your home desk. It's a cool partnership that we have. And we're just working with them to figure out their products and be able to service their units and accept claims and increase those attachment rates. Then, I mean, we got Blackstone as well. Blackstone isn't a fitness company. They do griddles, grills, and we've worked closely with them. And they're one of our most recent success stories where we've seen attachment rates from when we started at 5% and it shot up to 20%, just attaching those warranties to each one of those products that they sell. And so, yeah, just more than anything, we take a lot of pride in those brands and really helping brands grow.
Perfect. So we'll jump to the next slide. And again, the reason, we wanted to put Blackstone up there as a model just to show you, because prior to the last year, they had never sold warranties either, right? They didn't sell a protection plan. Now that's an OEM, but it just goes to show you that we took someone that didn't have a program, private labeled aftermarket program for them, a warranty program, and they're having great success with it, right? So there's no reason to be scared or wonder if you can implement a program like this. I mean, a company like Blackstone did it. Again, a different vertical, but we do this all day, every day, and we'll help you get started from nothing to really having great success with the program. So let's talk a little bit more about why Guardsman Fitness Plan. So really the first, topic I like to talk about is how we can increase your revenue, right? So we all understand how important it is to maximize the revenue on every single sale that you have. So the great thing with an extended warranty or protection plan is that, you're not looking for a new customer. They're already there, right? So again, we're maximizing that. A protection plan is not a foreign concept, right? Everyone knows you go to Walmart, you go to Best Buy, you go to Target, you go anywhere, and they're going to offer a protection plan on your purchase, no matter what it would be, right? So the key is we have to offer it every single time, and that's where we see attachment rates improve. So again, not a foreign concept. It's just our job is to put that in our sales pitch and offer that protection to the customer. So again, we're going to take you through share an example, a profit example with you here in a couple minutes, but obviously increasing your revenue is foremost and upfront. There's zero implementation costs. So the old days you used to buy plans and keep them on stock. You don't do that anymore, right? It's just what you sell is how that works. We've developed a revenue share model with you, so it's just really, really easy plug and play, and we'll show that to you here in just a second. The other important part of it is whether you are selling online or you're selling solely in store, or you have a combination of both, right? Which most people do these days. That we have a solution for both, because you want to have that same process that you're selling online that you would be selling in the store, and vice versa. So we'll show you that here in a second, and how easy that is to implement. Again, e-commerce sales. We have a Shopify app that's ready. However, that's not the only app we work with. We have any type of point of sale system we can integrate with. It just takes a little bit longer for us to do that, but rest assured we can help you with that, and it, basically creates a seamless process where plans are added at checkout. We'll give you an example of that here in a second. Um, a lot of things everyone wants to know is, hey, it's great to sell a plan, but what happens after we sell it, right? Well, that's where, that's really where our expertise comes in place, and with over 50 years of experience, right? So we have a dedicated claims team for Fitness Shop Edge, because this is going to be a private label plan. And we also have a nationwide service network, right? So if you have your own technicians, or own service team, you can service your own claims. It's not the norm. Most people rely on our network. We have over 4,000 technicians nationwide. So it's a very simple process for us. We have it down pat. The other thing that's important is our flexible plan options. And what do I mean by that is that, these are service plans. We have robust coverages. We'll go through that for you here in just a second. 2 to 5 year terms, and I'll show you an example. Most consumers pick the 5 year term because they feel they get a little more value for it. But you have different options: 2, 3, 4, and 5 year terms. And then obviously, I just talked about private label branding. So everyone's selling in this network. Everyone's selling the same type, and it'll be easy to implement for you. So go ahead, Caleb. On to the next slide.
Yeah, and the other thing that we take a lot of pride in is the ability to cover a wide variety of fitness products. You got your home treadmills, ellipticals, home gyms, exercise bikes, rowers, and really, we're open to covering anything and everything. If there's a mechanical part to it, if it can have a breakdown, then we're more than happy to cover it. And that just, gives your customer that peace of mind that if something goes wrong with because it really is an investment for them, if something goes wrong with their investment, that they will be covered for breakdowns. And so one of the main questions that gets asked, and you'll see especially when people are buying these plans, what is covered if I purchase this? Because I think it's kind of a misconception out there that there are a lot of warranties that they promise a lot of things, and when it comes time for the claims to come through, they're not covering anything, right? But with these fitness plans, you're completely covered from the top of the console to the very back rollers, So you've got your drive motor coverage, and so walking belt isn't moving one day, that's going to be covered completely to send out a drive motor and then have a technician go out to the home to replace that drive motor. Same with controller, cables with a lot of your weight equipment, or the rowers. If those start to have issues and make it so the customer can't retract those as well as they're normally able to, those are going to be covered for both parts and replacement. Walking belts, we see a lot of times there's tears that develop in those walking belts when customers use them so much. And those can cause breakdowns or potential injuries. And so, yeah, walking belts are covered, eddy mechanisms within bikes and ellipticals, console issues, any issues with the screen. So console doesn't power on one day. A lot of these customers rely on those consoles to be able to see exactly what their statistics are at, the calories they're burning, all those important things. That's covered. Arms, legs, pedals, any of those things that break, and much, much more. And then, standard features of those plans, like I said before, complete parts and labor coverage, unlimited in-home visits, power surges, and I guess adding on to the unlimited in-home service visits. If it gets to the point where we say, hey, this service isn't working, this machine is defective, it's not going to be back to manufacturer specifications no matter what we do, then we're going to go ahead and replace that machine with a similar equal product, a credit, whatever the terms are that are decided. But we really do take pride in being able to take care of your customers and give them that peace of mind that, hey, no matter what happens with this unit, I will be taken care of.
Perfect. Great examples there, Caleb. So I think just the kind of put a bow on this one, right? Is that fitness, like you put a protection plan on a sofa, you can see a stain, things like that, right? That's on fitness equipment. Just think about it. If something's not working, if it's breakdown, we've got you covered. And I think that's what customers want to know. They're like Caleb said, they're making an investment. We want to protect their investment. So again, any breakdown coverages are there along with power surges, things like that. So
Yeah, and to add on to that as well a little bit there, Dan, I mean, a lot of times when I was selling warranties over the phones, I mean, people are usually covered on a manufacturer's warranty for a short amount of time, whether that's 90 days or a year. But a lot of times you're not going to see those breakdowns within the first 90 days or within the first year. And so that's why these protection plans really come in handy and add value to those customers, is because we are going to cover that product beyond that first year when the breakdowns really do start to happen. So
that's great. Or to Caleb's point, maybe in the first year, some parts are covered, but there's no labor covered. There's different warranties on different aspects, but just know one way or the other, we're going to take care of it. Whether we got the labor and the manufacturer provides the parts, or maybe that the parts have expired, and so we're going to cover both. So what the customer cares about is that they're going to be covered and they're not going to have downtime, right? So that's the important message we want to send there. So moving along, well, let's talk a little bit about our revenue share model and how easy this is to implement. It might be a little bit of an eye chart there for you, but I want to make sure you guys see this. And again, we'll be sending the deck out for you, but really, we're covering fitness equipment anywhere, from under $500 all the way up to $16,000. And so what we did was try and make it easy implementation, right? So the last thing you need to have to worry about is, hey, I got a program. I don't know how to price it. I don't know how to sell it. I don't know what I should do. So we've just tried to take all that, the tough components of getting something started and make it easy to implement. So that's why we call it a revenue share model. And again, nothing for you to buy up front. You're only, you get commission on every sale. We have 4 different terms: 24, 36, 48, and 60 months. And again, I think I mentioned earlier, most customers default to the longer terms, but basically your retail price is set for you. At 24 months, it's basically 8% of the product. 36 months is 10, 48 months is 12%, and then the 60 month is 15%. And just so you know, industry standard on protection plans is anywhere from 15 to 20%, and that could be for lower terms. So what we've really tried to do is make this super competitive, make it easy for the customer to say yes, and again, make it easy for them to protect their investment, right? So again, you're focused on selling and getting commission. So as you can see here, every plan that you sell, you take home 30% commission. So all it is a matrix here. So you have we'll go through an example on the second page, but we'll send this out for you to look at. But again, the commissions are built in on it, very, very easy to implement. Let's move next slide. So this would be an example of a website buy box, right? So if you're online purchases, be very simple to where we go in and add the buy box for you. You can do it yourself. A lot of people ask for our help on this. So just imagine, right? We built an example here, kind of like an average price point out there, right? So we have a recumbent bike sells for $21.99. And then what would happen if they're making an online purchase, the protection plan pops up for them, right? And they can choose. They don't have to buy it, but we're just showing an example where there's would be a button to say, they don't want to protect their purchase. But the price would be right there from 2 years at $199 to 5 years at $374. So, they see that value over 5 years at $374. It's included right there. They're paying for it, right? And there's nothing else to do. And then you're just collecting your commission on that. You'll notice that there's a what's covered button here, because a lot of people will say, well, I don't know if I want to buy a protection plan. but there'd be a box that, you click on that box and it's going to show the highlights of the coverages similar to what we did on the previous page. So it's going to give them peace of mind of what they're buying and know that they're going to be using this piece of equipment every day. And they know that if something goes wrong with it, we're going to cover it. So if we move on to the next slide, we kind of go through a quick example based on that. So how can you build revenue selling plans, right? So we're going to use that same recumbent bike as an example where the retail price was $21.99. They selected that 5-year plan at $374.99. Your revenue share is 30%, so instantly you made $112.50 on that piece of equipment. So think about that. So if that's your average selling price, right? You could add another $112 roughly to every single purchase that you make, and the risk is shifted to Guardsman, right? So we all know what happens, right? Something happens 2, 3, 4 years down the line, and they're going to call and say, hey, can you fix this for me? And I really don't want to pay for it. But once they buy their plan, they don't have anything else, right? There's no deductibles, there's no added payments, there's no trip fees. We take care of that, right? That risk is transferred to Guardsman to take care of. So obviously it's a benefit for your customer, but it's also a benefit for you. You're mitigating risk on the back end for those customers who expect you to come out and do stuff for free, right? So if we took that simple example, and we do turn that into annual assumptions, and we put a 40% attachment rate. You won't get there overnight, but it's just process. If we offer a plan every time, we see 40% attachment rates all the time in the verticals that we cover. But for every $1 million in retail sales, you can add another 20,000, a little over 20,000 in additional revenue. For every $5 million you sell, right? It's just a math equation. You do about 102,000 additional. If you do 10 million annually in retail sales, you're going to add about over $200,000 to your bottom line. So you can extrapolate those numbers to whatever your annual retail sales are, and just kind of get a good picture of the additional revenue that these programs can drive for you. And we put a little example there at the bottom, just so you can follow along. But again, we're going to send this out to you. But again, just the math equation of $1 million in retail sales divided by your average selling gets you your unit sales times your attach rate, gives you the number of plans we would expect in a year, and then times that commission equals the dollar amount. So we wanted to make sure we had a real life example in there, and again, how we're helping other brands do the exact same thing. Okay, next slide. So that's really it for the presentation. We got done a little bit early. I just wanted to add a few more comments right here, right? So obviously we appreciate everybody getting on the webinar to just get just kind of an overview of what our protection plans cover, how we implement them, the profitability additional profit you can make. But we know you're going to have more questions, and centered around how easy is it to get started? What about training? We have all that in place for you. So Lacey will be sending out our contact information. So whether you reach out to Lacey, she'll get it to us. Whether you reach out to Caleb and I directly, we are here for you, so we can do follow-up webinar with you. I also advised Lacey that I am available to come to Caleb and I are available to come to your locations and speak to you about this in person as well, right? If that helps you, want to, we can see your showroom, we can talk to you about how we implement things, we can show you our training decks. We are really committed to helping launch these programs and make them successful for you. This is not a, hey, here's our plan, you guys, good luck with it, right? We're here to help you. So you've got our commitment on that, whether it be a webinar that we can jump on the phone with you, or again, I travel a lot, Caleb does as well. We are able to come to your location and have a sit-down meeting with you, answer all your questions, whatever you need to get started, we're here for you. So I wanted to make sure we ended with that. And so I'll turn it back over to Lacey with any final comments.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing this presentation for everybody. Really appreciate it. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up too that we have a bike division as well as fitness, and we've been working in the bike division with Guardsman for over a decade, offering extended protection on bicycles and additional components there. And it's always been a great experience. And so we're hoping that we can deliver it to our fitness division as well. And as they mentioned, if you have any questions, you can give me a call, you can shoot me an email, you can contact Dan and Caleb as well. We will be sending this recording out to everybody as well as the slide deck. And yeah, we're excited for this, and hopefully you guys can get this going and really get some more margin into the season.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for joining, guys, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks
Thank you
again,
very
Lacey.
much.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.